I spend a lot of time thinking about what it really takes to be successful. The thing about success is that it looks different for everyone. While for me, success does mean never having to worry about money. More than that, it also means having time freedom. It also means getting to work on things I love and seeing those things change people's lives. I've been in rooms with actual royalty. I've interviewed Hollywood celebrities, been mentored by Fortune 500 CEOs, worked in Wallstreet's top investment bank with the smartest people and the most prestigious clients. I've consulted for business owners who have fought tooth and nail to build multi-million-dollar businesses from the ground up. Nothing was handed to them, and yet they have overcome so much in order to be successful. I've been in rooms with some successful people. And as someone who loves to observe and study other people, I've learned a thing or two about how these successful people move through this world. Some of these traits I've absorbed and made my own, while others I may never grasp, and that's okay. Research shows that it's better to spend your energy improving your strengths rather than your weaknesses, because you'll just make more progress that way. So, if any of these traits for success I share come naturally to you, work on them. If not, just keep them in mind. So, here is what I've learned from being in rooms with successful people. So one of the first things I've noticed about successful people is that they're extremely generous, not only with their money, but with their time and with their knowledge. They don't suffer fools for the most part, meaning that if you're asking someone for 15 minutes to pick their brain, you need to come prepared and you need to have done some sort of research. Don't go to successful people asking them basic questions that you could Google, because they have extremely specialized knowledge and they want people in their circle who are thoughtful, people who are thinking outside of the box. And in general, they have this outlook that we can all eat. The rising tide is going to lift all boats, so I don't need to gatekeep. At least that's been my experience with successful people. And every time I leave their presence, I leave with food for thought. I leave with so many ideas on things that are possible for me to do simply because I have seen them execute it. So that's one thing I would say about successful people is they aren't afraid to give, because in their mind, they don't have to hold everything close to their chest. And if you would like to learn a little bit more about why giving is good in life, in business, and anything that you do, definitely read this book by Adam Grant. I actually have it back here. It's called Give and Take: Why Helping Others Drives Our Success. Definitely take a look at this book, because time and time again, successful people have shown that if you are generous, it will come back to you tenfold. Karma, whatever you want to call it. So if you are looking to be successful, you will reap what you sow by being generous with other people and not feeling like you have to be a gatekeeper, not feeling like people are too small for you to engage with. I have to say that whenever I meet with people, or whenever people ask to pick my brain, or whenever I interview people on my podcast, I find myself having conversations. We exchange ideas on what's working for us. And I love to make introductions to other people that I have met that I think people would vibe with, or I think people can help each other with whatever project they're working on. So be that kind of person. Even if you haven't made it yet, you will find that it will truly benefit you as you are trying to grow. The next thing is, for better or worse, they know exactly who they are. They're not trying to be anybody else. In a lot of cases, they're eccentric. They are extremely noticeable when they walk into the room, whether they're extremely reserved and they're noticeable because of that. They have large personalities and they're noticeable because of that. But whatever the case is, they know who they are are, they know what they want, and they know what they are working towards. I've noticed on social media these days that a lot of people are simply trying to replicate other people's success exactly the way they have done it, instead of looking at people's blueprint and seeing what they can extract from it and then applying it in their own unique way. People are just trying to replicate exactly what they've seen out there. And what ends up happening is you have a world out there full of clones and nobody stands out. Have you noticed that whenever you are scrolling either on YouTube or Instagram, wherever, the things that catch your attention are the things that are different, the things that stand out, the things that don't look like the other. So for better or worse, the people who are successful are the ones who are thinking outside of the box and don't care what other people think. They know who they are and they stand in who they are. If they are jerks, if they are gruff, if they are abrupt, they are that, and they're not trying to change for anybody. Now, that doesn't always work depending on what circles you walk in, because we all need to learn how to get along with people and collaborate with people, right? But you get what I'm saying. They're not trying to change who they are. They're not trying to fit into any particular mold, and they're not allowing people to cap their ideas. They're not allowing their ideas to be influenced by what's correct in society or what's allowed in different circles. They stand out and they stand in the truth of who they are. And that's what I love. Whenever I'm in a room, I love to just observe people and see what it is that they're doing. When you're in a networking scenario, for example, what are the people who are drawing others to them doing? And it's simply that they're being themselves. They have interesting things to say. They aren't being awkward. They aren't being contrived. They are just being themselves, and people love it. If they don't love it, then you don't draw those people to you. And that is okay, because drawing people to you who don't truly love what you are about is just stressful. And quite frankly, that's one thing I have learned from successful people, is that if someone isn't from me, I am not chasing them. I will find another way to build a similar kind of relationship or find the resource or the connection that I'm looking for. I'm over forcing things. So if you're looking for success through relationships, don't force it. Be who you are and allow your community, allow your people to come to you. The next thing is that people who are successful see their success as given. Now, I don't mean that simply because they come from privilege or they're wealthy, therefore they expect success. That might be the case in some people's cases, but there are people who have had to work their way from the ground up. I certainly am one of those people who has adapted the mindset of success is given, and I certainly don't come from a wealthy background. So the people I've met who've been successful, whenever they embark on a new venture, in their mind, it is given. It will happen. It's just all a matter of how can they gather the resources? How can they find the right people, the right team, the right knowledge in order to make it happen? In their mind, it has already happened. It is already a possibility for them. And that is what I love about successful people. And that, I believe, is why everything they touch tends to turn to gold, because in their mind, they don't allow self-doubt to get in their way of taking that next step or reaching that next level in their journey. So if you are someone who for some reason second guesses themselves or thinks that that next level is not attainable, you need to switch your mindset into a given sort of thinking, because once you believe that it's possible, once you see that vision as a reality for you, it's been scientifically proven, if you did watch my vision board video, that it is possible to see that success that you're envisioning for yourself. All right, this next thing. So I'm sure you've seen the controversial video by Kim Kardashian where she talks about the fact that people aren't successful because they're lazy and they just don't do the work, right? Now, we're not lazy, and there are a lot of different factors, as you can see, that come into play when you're looking to be successful. But what I will say is, being around people who are successful, I have noticed that they are relentless. They work hard. Not saying that they don't allow for work-life balance or they don't have other interests in life besides whatever business they're building or whatever career they're building, but they're like a dog with a bone. Once they have an idea in their mind, once they know they're working towards something, they work hard. They give 100% plus 24/7. They're eating, breathing, thinking, living inside of whatever it is that they're working on. And I love that. I love to see that the fruits of your labor actually do bear out at some point into success. And so for myself, I love to work hard simply because I love what I'm doing, right? It's something that interests me. I love to tinker. I love to say, if I do this, what will be the outcome? That's just my personality. And I feel like you need a little bit of that if you're looking to be successful, because you can't just touch something, once a week and then expect it to thrive. It just doesn't work like that. You have to cultivate success. You have to be relentless. You have to be passionate about whatever it is you're trying to be successful at, right? So it takes measuring, it takes consistency, it takes looking at what you're doing and trying to figure out how to do it better. It takes a little bit of obsession to be successful. And that's one thing that a lot of successful people have in common, is that not only are they thinking outside of the box, they are also passionate about what they're doing, and they're working on it consistently until they see the outcome they're looking for. Or if they fail, great. They fail fast and move on to the next thing, or they pivot, or they try it another way. But they're not automatically giving up because things are difficult, because the best things in life rarely come easily to you. So if you want to be successful, you got to be like a dog with a bone and really get passionate and relentless about what you're working towards. So while I don't necessarily agree with the way Kim Kardashian put it, there is an ounce of truth in there, in that you've got to work hard for the things you want. This next thing is collaboration. They rarely work alone, whether it's a real estate deal where they're pooling funds in order to buy a hotel or whatever they're purchasing. They are not doing it alone. Even Elon Musk, when he purchased Twitter, he didn't do it himself, right? He had to pool resources in order to do it. Yes, he put a bunch of his own money at stake, but he had to gather up investment partners. I worked on Wall Street for 10 years, was a vice president, closed some major deals. And one thing I will tell you is the people who closed those deals rarely did it by themselves. They had partners. They had gone out and figured out, who can I partner with in order to make this happen? They rarely put all of their money on the table because there's strength in numbers. You can leverage the expertise of different partners. Not everyone is just about the money. There are people who have their legal expertise, the technical expertise, whatever the case may be. If your mindset is, I've got to do this by myself, you are going to miss out on a lot that can help to amplify the success. You can bring on partners in order to make the pie bigger so everyone can eat even more. So if you are of the mindset that I want to be successful, not only do I believe you have to do everything that I've talked about, but you also need to learn how to build partnerships and collaborate, because that rising tide is going to lift all boats. Collaborate in order to amplify your results. Don't feel like you have to do things by yourself, because sometimes you get into your head and you have tunnel vision and you don't see that there are simpler, easier, more lucrative ways to do things, right? So if you want to be successful, learn how to collaborate, learn how to make friends, learn how to get along. Even if you have a strong personality, you need to figure out how to make that strong personality palatable to the right people, to your community, right? So think through what it is that you're working on today, where you could benefit from other people who bring something to the table, right? Not just people who are trying to leech, but people who actually have some sort of expertise that you don't. Even if it's not about investing in a big deal, maybe you're working on something and you are doing every single part of it. You're doing all the admin, you're doing all the technical stuff, even though you're not technical. You probably should hire somebody. You should probably find other partners who can do part of the job and take a slice of the equity. Whatever the case may be, doing it all and trying to do it by yourself is slowing your growth. So collaborate in order to amplify your success. If you're looking to be successful today, think about applying some of these things into your life and your business. I certainly will be more intentional about doing some of these things in my life this year. Let me know if you've observed any other traits of successful people and add them into the comments so we can all learn from your experience as well. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so so you don't miss my next video. With that, we'll see you right back here for my next one. Bye.